Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry. With me remotely this week, it's the whiskey mutant himself, old
Cut
Eric.
it out.
Yeah, that's what you did at the end of last episode.
Did I?
Yeah.
Continuation. It's a continuation. You made it to the next episode. Congratulations. You've unlocked the power.
The power glove?
You've got the power. No, that one guy that I went up against in Matt Mattis had the power glove.
Oh, yeah, Bill.
He was
That's
a
right.
dick.
A whiskey dick.
A whiskey dick. Yeah, he pulled that thing out, the power glove, not his whiskey dick. But he kept changing shirts. He changed the shirt like he would run away and come back with a shirt on. It was very distracting. Good.
You know, I'm just noticing something here.
What?
And I want to see if it makes any difference.
Okay.
To swap us to the position that we normally would be in if we were sitting next to each other.
Okay.
Because you're normally on my left.
Right. I'm on your right. On your right.
No.
No.
Oh. We'll try it this week. This way. Flying fast and loose, everybody.
Fast and loose. You know how we do.
You know how we operate.
Fast and loose, baby.
Switching up camera angles and switching.
Flip it. Put it up on top. We put each other on top and all that. Flip it around.
This is too much work for me, man.
Well, don't do that then.
Yeah, I won't. But what you should do is go follow us on... No.
Oh. Them. The listeners.
The listener,
yeah,
you, the proverbial you. Go follow us on
perverts.
social media, at My Bourbon Pod and at Whiskey Mutant. You can also... Wait, this isn't right either, is it?
What?
This isn't the way we normally sit.
I'm not. It has not changed on my screen.
It's this. It's not going to matter for anybody. Where are you? When you're looking at your screen, are you on the left or the right? At Whiskey Mute. No, I even said for myself. I pointed to myself and I said at Whiskey Mute.
You can follow me at PRitter1792.
Yeah, whatever. Give us a 5-star rating or review in your podcast app of choice. Leave us send us an email is what I was trying to say there. This is mybourbonshop@gmail.com. We love hearing the correspondence. It's something that we rarely get to talk about on the podcast. But when we do, it's special and fun, and we give you a little shout out. You can leave us a barrel ring for our Barrel Rings segment. Well, it's a voicemail for our Barrel Rings segment. I am firing on all cylinders today.
Let's
Let me tell
go.
you, man. All friggin' cylinders. You can leave us a voicemail for our Barrel Rings segment at 859-428-8253. I don't think that we lined that up. That's okay. We're on a delay because we're operating remotely this week.
Well, we still did it, though.
And that's all that we can ask. We tried, at the very least. What else? Find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. Lots of fun stuff up there. Email. I guess the last one I have to talk about is Patreon. Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, it's bonus content. Central City over there.
Central City bonus.
You aren't going to want to miss out on it. It's so much good stuff. Swan even wound up being on this week's Pours from the Floor.
He did.
Too.
He left a little bit ago. If you listened yesterday, he left.
Yeah.
So
exactly. But.
Yeah. And you can join the Discord if you're part of Patreon. I left a nice little April Fool's post for everybody in my little dark side of Tim Bip that dare, if you want to, go in there.
Yeah, I wish that I could wash my eyes out with bleach now.
Yeah, well,
like I thought the original was bad, but ooh, buddy.
Well, you want to find out more about that? Join the Patreon, join the Discord, baby.
There we go. And of course, buy tick-ups for tick-ups. You tell them.
Tickets to the live show coming up Memorial Day weekend. It's 10-Bip Live. We've got VIP packages available. You can come Friday night. Join us in a tasting that we're going to prepare for you. A lot of special pours. We're going to have dinner together. We're going to record Patreon content with everybody that's there for the VIP. There is a VIP Plus that's sold out. Sorry you missed out, but that will have Peggy No Stevens involved, where she's going to do a pairing and tasting for you. And then the big show. It's the big show. Saturday night, we're going to record 10-Bip Live, where Peggy No Stevens is going to join us, and we're going to be pairing it up. Perry's going to be moderating a pair-off, I guess is what we're saying, between us two. And we're going to have special judges. Maybe some people watching will get a chance to try some of the pairings. Honestly, we don't even know what might happen. There may be special guests. There may not be special guests. There may be somebody in the audience who gets mad and yells and says, "Quit ruining whiskey." But you know what? You got to buy a ticket to be there. So if you just want to come Saturday night and watch the show, it's $30. You get a free drink on us, probably a free sample, and then some food. So eat, drink, watch 10-Bip Live. $30. That's all. What else are you going to do? Spend $30 on a frickin' Cane's chicken basket? No. You're going to go to Panera. You're going to go Panera and get a piece of bread and a large drink and a soup for $45. No, pay $30 and come hang out with us. Do it now. It's an Eventbrite. It's in there. The link is everywhere. It's on social. It's on our Facebook group, and it's probably in the description somewhere, whether you're watching or listening. So,
all true things.
Yes,
not a lie said there.
About a month and a half away. Under a month and a half by the time they hear this.
Pretty much,
something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
Get
on it.
Do it.
We're starting this week out with Sips and Snacks.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe. One that Eric has provided for us.
I provided, and the snack was provided by a friend of the show, loyal fan, loyal listener, our favorite bag of donuts, the Tony himself. He sent me and Perry some Super 8.
It's just a bag of donuts.
Just a big old bag of fucking donuts. But I know he's been waiting for us to pair it, so I had a little bit the other day, and I was like, I know exactly what needs to go with this. But then I changed my mind because I found something in the back of the cabinet that's actually my what have you been drinking too. So
nice.
I haven't had this in a while. I think the last time I had this was with Perry. But we're going to let him do it blind and see what he thinks about it.
Oh, heck yeah. Where do you want me to start? Do you want me to start with the pour?
Start with the pour.
Okay.
Have a little bit of the pour. Tell me what you think about it, then we'll pair it. Tell me what you think about when you were paired and so alone.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to have Buddy Holly stuck in my head for the rest of the night, by the way.
Ooh, it's Sips and Snacks time.
Ooh, this is my bourbon podcast.
I don't care what other stuff you listen to. You only need to listen to us. I love that.
What? What? What?
What? What is it?
I'm getting like a young note on it.
You may have to tell me the age on it. I don't know if it's actually got it. Hold on.
I mean, there is a youthfulness to this that I am experiencing.
I think I know. Okay, yeah. I know why you're experiencing that. Okay.
I don't know what this is off the top of my head. We have so much whiskey together.
I know. It's been a long time.
We really do.
It's been a long time since we had this. We have not had this together probably in 2 years.
Really?
Yes. This was a bottle that you helped me pair with a steak when I had to do the steak event. I had to pair up the steaks.
Has that been 2 years now?
Yeah. It was before I was even on the show.
No, wait.
I just started. It's been almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Well, 2 years. Close enough.
Because you started in August of 21.
Yeah, that's when we did this before I was on in July.
Yeah, that's right.
So a year and like 10 months ago, maybe.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know what this is off the top of my head.
This whiskey was a bad boy because it got put in prison. It's the prison. It's this Bardstown, the prisoner.
So what's the youthful note on it?
Well, because it's Tennessee. It's 10-year-old Tennessee finished in those French oak wine barrels. So I think that weird Tennessee note makes it taste different. But it's also a funky, fun,
it's
weird
funky.
Thing. Yeah.
It is crazy funky.
Yeah, I forgot which steak we paired this with, but yeah, I think that's the last time I had that. It's been sitting in the shelf with all the other Bardstown stuff.
I feel like we paired this with, I don't remember the exact like lineup, but in terms of like order, I feel like this was the second or third that we paired in there.
Yeah, what was it? It was one of the higher end steaks that we had.
Yeah, because there were 4, right?
Yeah, 4 or 5, and this was our this was like our wine and steak pairing, like how everybody does. I think we did like a New York, it was like a A5. No, it wasn't the Wagyu. Because I think we did like E.H. Taylor. I can't remember, but it was good. So now we're pairing it with really, this. Really good. Super 8. We go
on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Man, this is what Kit Kats wish they were.
It's so light and airy. The first time I had one of these, Tony also provided it. I was like, I'll eat half of this now and half of this later. No. And I think I ate the whole thing in like 3 bites.
Yeah, it's like the little wafers you get at Sunday school. Apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Second week in a row talking about Sunday school stuff. But like the good version.
Yeah. All right, I'm going in for the pour over.
All right, let's do it. If you're listening, you can go watch this on YouTube right now and see us pour whiskey over snacks and ruin your whiskey with us. Oh. What is that? That's like...
It really brings out a peanut butter note.
Oh, yeah, it brings out the peanut butter. And it makes it like a jelly. It's the goober. You remember the goobers that had the peanut butter and the jelly in the jar together? Did you ever have that?
Oh, yeah.
That's what this is. Because it's like peanut butter and jelly, but it's different. And the goobers were like this weird, different like combo. And you only got it when you went over to like your some cousin's house or something. And you're like, oh, the goober stuff. All right. And then you're like, oh, I'm eating goobers all night now. You wake up and your uncle is still watching TV. It's a really late. He's drinking like a Bud Light. And he's like, well, what are you doing in here? And I'm like, I just want some goobers. And he's like, I'm trying to watch my show. Go back to bed. Can I get a goober?
It's Cops Uncensored. Except it's not Cops, and there's a lot of girls with tops off.
He's watching the Girls Gone Wild commercial. Not the actual thing, just the commercial. What are you doing in here, boy? I just need a goober. Get your bread, get your goober, get out of here. This is my favorite part. And watch them as they go crazy. Eric, you still in there? No. But you're secretly watching too. You're just eating a jar of goobers, watching the commercial with your uncle that you don't talk to that much.
Yeah. Probably for the best that you don't.
Yeah.
Either. This is a great pairing.
I love this.
Nice and not like overpowering or anything.
No, it's very complimenting.
Just kind of opens the candy bar up a little bit.
Yeah, Tony, if you don't have this, let me know and I'll get you a sample and you compare it to what's it about this bar and Tony Bag of Donuts? Why is this his like thing?
I think he gets it every year when he goes down to Chile.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
When he does the secret spy missions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, because now he has to kill you.
Well, if there's one person that listens to the show that I'm okay with killing me, it'd be Tony. But by God, I put up a fight, Tony. So don't even. I know you're going to be at the weekend. Tony got tickets. I know he does. Now we may be fighting. So if you want to come see us fight and me run away and hide, get on that. Man, this is good.
Okay. Well, what have you been drinking recently?
That.
Yeah, since we just recorded yesterday.
Yeah, I did. I had a little bit of that. I think I had that a couple of days ago, but I didn't mention it when we recorded the other day. Yeah, it's just fun. It's one of those things where you see a bottle, and I know we've done this together plenty of times, but you see a bottle that you almost forgot that you had.
Yeah.
And then you're like, man, I haven't had this in a while. And you try it and you're like, oh, this is really nice. I don't have those moments very often.
I do constantly.
I don't know. I kind of, it's like I keep it all stored in my head, but like that one, for some reason, I guess it was just in the back and behind some other stuff. And I quite enjoyed it. One of the few Tennessee whiskeys that I like, when you finish a Tennessee whiskey the right way, it's quite enjoyable.
Yeah. So I think when, at the meetup last year, we had a little suite for everybody to hang out in. We unfortunately don't have that same room again this year. Yeah. We do have another room that we're going to have for everybody to come and, communally hang out and whatnot. I have got, and I'm just realizing it as I've been sitting here, so many of the bottles that are on the floor just need to be finished.
Man, if somebody made a show about that, finishing bottles,
what would it be called?
Pours from the floor.
I don't like it. I think it's a terrible name.
Get on Patreon. You can watch us do that.
But I was thinking about maybe doing just like a big old blend of something.
Blendy?
Yeah.
Or what if we brought them? What if we brought them and we let everybody make their own little blend?
That works. That works.
We'll have a table. We'll set up a table.
Cases of bottles that are that have like 2 or 3 ounces.
Oh, that'd be so fun! Like one day we'll pack them up. I'll get them packed up, and we'll get one of. We were already going to buy an extra table or two for remote recording, and we'll do it like that. And like you just finish the bottles for us, like that way people aren't like blending up like the rare stuff that they want to share for like the bottle share. Yeah. It's just a table and it's like, see what you can come up with the bottles that have been sitting on the floor in the studio. That'd be so fun.
It's the kind of thing that you have to look forward to for Tim Bip Weekend 20. A live and in-person pours from the floor that you do yourself.
Oh, sounds like some Patreon content.
I'm thinking about, too, sorry, I'll get to what I've been drinking in a second, because it's actually going to take up a majority of the episode before we get to the review, just because I think it's going to lead to some interesting conversation. And it's kind of a, like, dispatch of, my little adventure yesterday. I want to get, traditionally, Tim Bip Weekend, Saturdays during the day, there's kind of a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What I'm thinking about doing, splitting people up into groups, giving them a list of some of those like honey hole kind of stores in or around Lexington, and having them go and hunt, and whoever comes back with the best find wins one of the spots to be the judge.
Ooh.
Or they everybody in the group gets samples or something. Ooh. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, kind of.
What if they did I know something good. We write down some of the honey holes, or like just the stores we go to. I think we mentioned a lot of them on there. And then
there's a couple I don't though.
Sure.
There's a couple that are just for me.
Okay. The secret. You gotta drink the blood before you can get in there. But
and then here's the head of. No, never mind. That's for the Patreon.
Yeah. Then we write down a couple of places that we like to either eat or get snacks from, and they have to go and they have to figure out like a snack and bring it back to share, almost like a pairing. Like they had to do a scavenger hunt pairing.
That'd be awesome.
Send them to like North Lime or something like that.
Oh yeah. Send them to OBC and they only order bacon in a glass to go.
Yeah. Let's see how dedicated you guys are, or how bad you want to be a judge on this show. No. It's a win-win for us, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So last night after I finally kind of got to get home and settle down, I cracked open that Jack Daniel's barrel proof that Swan brought. And I haven't had a Jack barrel proof in a while, but it just makes you feel some sort of way, man. they're just
we
special.
Had a little bit of it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But I just mean like
good.
I haven't had my own bottle.
Yeah,
in a hot minute. And they're great. I know that they're going to be coming out with the single barrel proof rye selections soon as well.
We'll have one of those. Don't you worry.
Oh, I figured. I figured.
Yep.
Anyway,
fingered it out.
Yeah, I had a little bit of that. I had just the tiniest splash of the Stag Junior pick as well.
I got my little sample sitting over here. I might save that for. I might take that to Disney with me.
I figured you might.
I'm gonna take that hazmat too.
Yeah, right. Oh, you can't take it on a plane.
Not if they don't know what it is, boy.
Yeah, fair enough.
You didn't hear that, TSA. It's just a sample bottle.
Ain't nothing.
That's my toothpaste.
Ain't nothing but a thing.
That's my beard oil.
But last night, Eric was going to go with me originally. This week turned out to be too crazy for him, so
yeah,
I was only able to go on my own. But I got to go to the Buffalo Trace Single Barrel Select event. I don't know a better way to describe it because, you know, there was a live stream that went along with it, and there were a bunch of, you know, I hate to say the word influencers, but, you know, as far as like things go or things are considered, that's kind of the group of folks who were there. Just faces within the industry, podcasters, YouTube folks. So I got to hang out with Chad and Sarah from It's Bourbon Night, if you don't know who they are.
Who are you if you don't know who they are?
This little teeny tiny channel with 100,000 subscribers over on YouTube.
They do a few things here and there.
I'll get back to this in a second. On my live stream last week, I started doing the Herbert the Pervert voice. Hope everybody's having a good night. And I can't remember who. I think it was Tater Dom said that I should do a whole stream with that voice. I was like, no, I would lose what little subscribers I already have. on that channel if I did that for an hour straight.
I think you should. I agree. Yeah. I agree. You should find a filter that turns you into him.
Oh,
and then you're drinking the whiskey and stuff. And this smells
real nice.
It smells like the paper boy.
Hoping he's going to bring me some good news.
Get your ass over here.
Where are you? I haven't seen the paper boy in a few days.
The little whistle you do at the end,
well, that's what he does too.
I know, but you do it so good. Is what I'm saying. Like that part kills me. That's my favorite part that you do. Like,
hoping he'll bring me some good news.
You get the whistle in there, and it's amazing. It's so good.
Hey, Seth MacFarlane, if you ever need somebody to do Herbert the Pervert, let me know. I don't know how much that character's on the show anymore, but anyway. So yeah, I got to hang out with Chad and Sarah. Got to see Sipping Corn, Brian, for a moment. Got to see Mark from the Bourbon Life podcast as well, very, very briefly, but good to catch up with him for a second. Just a big event, a lot bigger than I was kind of anticipating it being. They drew in total 44 single. No, you know what? I've been doing that math wrong. It's 54. 54. They drew 54 total barrels.
54 lucky people.
32 of which were Buffalo Trace single barrels, just standard Buffalo Trace mash bill 1. And the other 22 were their premium offerings, Stag Junior, well, Stag, I guess, Eagle Rare, Blanton's, Taylor.
Blanton's.
I think Sazerac was in there too. Their Weller products are a part of that as well.
Anybody you know get one?
No.
Personally, no.
Not that I know of yet.
Yeah.
But I have a fun story about somebody who got one.
Okay.
I was gonna save it, but we're on the topic, so I may as well tell it. So we were in the back end rather of the numbers getting drawn, and they built barrels on like a crank the way that they have for like bingo numbers.
Oh wow.
It was wild, man. It was really, really cool. But they had, like a door that they put a latch on so nothing would fall out and everything. And Freddie Johnson was there. He gave a toast that I had never heard him give before, but it made me tear up a little bit. So
he has that effect on people.
We're gonna have that toast later on, not to be weird and sentimental, but we'll get there. So he drew the last 11 numbers. These were the premium barrels, and he gets to one, and everybody was kind of just jesting with whoever was on stage, saying, go lower, like go dig into the barrel, really get in there and everything. And Sarah was giving him a hard time at first, at a couple times too. And I forgot to mention this. Chad, Sarah, and I were at one of the front two tables at the event. And so the view from the widest view camera, like camera one, you can see my dumb idiot head sitting in the very bottom right corner throughout basically the entire stream. And people knew too, like people who, we're friends with and are listeners of the show, were like, I saw you on the live stream. I was like, I wish I hadn't been there. So it was our table. And then there was a table next to us, with a husband and a wife couple that were sitting there, and
not Chad and Sarah.
Not Chad and Sarah, different couple. Didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
So Freddie really gets into the barrel and he pulls out a card and he goes, "Oh, this is my favorite number.
Oh, baby.
359. Now, I did what I think I would have done in that moment if my number got called, which was just sit there and my mouth hit the floor. My jaw just absolutely dropped open because the couple at the table next to us were 359.
Oh, my God.
And they were the only people present who won the chance to pick a single barrel.
Oh, so everybody else was like, they had to call them or send them a message or something.
I don't know how they handled it.
359.
Yeah.
Why is that his favorite number?
I don't know.
I thought he was gonna get all up in it and be like, "This is a 69, baby."
See, I like there was a moment where I thought he was gonna do that too. But as soon as he called that number and the table next to us just erupted, that thought completely left my mind because I was going, this is so cool. Because so the way that you get entered into the lottery is that you sign up on their website for an account, and I don't know the logistics of it anymore. But that was just kind of your ticket to be able to get a single barrel.
Yeah.
Or the chance to get a single barrel back in the day. And then they introduced a point system as well. Yeah. So however many years, that's a 1 point per or something like that. And then they tacked on like an extra point for it was like, thanks for being a part of this. We love you. Thanks for accepting our new program. And it's like, I didn't really have a choice in the matter. But so the numbers that they called got about as high as 55,000.
Damn.
Now, Susanna said at one point, Susanna's the head of their barrel picking program over there. Really wonderful person. She's been at every pick that I've ever done. When I've been to Buffalo Trace, I hadn't seen her since like winter of 2020 or something like that.
I have an Ernie's, or I had one. I think we finished it actually. It's called Susanna.
Yeah.
Like she like did like the tiebreaker. She picked like the
yeah. I think I remember us finishing that one.
Yeah.
But she said that all things considered, there were over 200,000 tickets that were in there.
Damn.
And the fact that out of those 55,000 accounts and 200,000 tickets, that one account was sitting right next to us in the room and they got selected, absolutely friggin' blew my mind. Like, there was something about that, like, it's that magic of bourbon that we've kind of been trying to recapture since COVID hit.
Yeah.
And since things kind of started to take a weird social turn. And it was just like, it was like your team won.
Yeah.
Or, it's just, it was like because one of us won, we all won.
We all won.
And it was so exciting and just electrified the room.
Did they know which barrel they got?
No, they don't know yet. So They were saying at the start as well that if, it's in their premium stuff, you can talk with the single barrel team and they will they'll try to work with you to, see what they can get for you. So I'm assuming.
You think you could have took them in a challenge and took the barrel from them? If you got the opportunity?
Husband, yes. Wife, probably not. She looked like she was she looked like she would fight dirty. Okay.
Well, get ready. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. You're all about challenges today. It's really worrying me.
The blood.
So I mean that was really, really cool. That was easily like the best moment of the night, was just getting to be present for that. It's one of those things where it's like, there's no way I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't. I didn't go in with any kind of like hope.
But there's always that one little.
But there's always that little bit of a chance, or like just hey, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, it's like, well, I can't be upset over what I didn't have.
It's the people who walk in going, "Today's my day.
Yeah,
it's happening today," and then they're just mad.
And there were a lot of those people there, which was fun.
Like I felt it.
Anyway, so they had an open bar, and they had hors d'oeuvres from OBC.
Oh
there.
My God!
Little bacon in a glass,
of course,
servings, which is actually something that we used to do, and we stopped doing with the tour company with Distilled Experiences. We would go to OBC every morning that we had tours, or maybe the night before. I think I might be misremembering that. We would go and get just like a serving, like 14 cups of a little bit of their peanut butter sauce and like a quarter of their bacon. Just to like, show them a little bit more. So that was being served. They had a little taster of their shrimp and grits. When I say shrimp, it was one shrimp per
with a little bit of grits in there.
So I grabbed a couple and took them back to my table, and I was like, "This is my dinner. Shut up."
Don't judge me.
And then we had the last piece that they had to offer was it was a seared mango wrapped in prosciutto, and then it had like herbs and like ground peppercorn.
Keep talking.
On top, and it was great. It was really, really good. But the first one that I ate, Chad said something. I can't even remember what he said, but he said something that made me like just take so hard that I swallowed the mango whole.
Did anybody do a pour over?
Not that I saw. Not that I saw. I'm sorry.
I've still not made it.
We're getting there, man. We're getting there.
I'm getting there.
And look, I take responsibility for that too, because I didn't even do one.
Well,
but
you do them on all the time.
That's
I'm
true.
talking about.
But
I would have rather you looked over and you just saw the old man that won going, "This is our lucky day, baby." He just pours his whiskey all over the snacks. He starts eating it. Somebody punches him like, "You can't have one. You ruined whiskey."
So they had a cocktail mixologist who was there. Her name was Molly. She made a cocktail called the Winning Ticket, I think is what it was. It was just bourbon, Campari. No, maybe not Campari.
What if she had a cocktail?
Might have been a Mero.
It was just so high proof, and she called it Molly.
This is his Everclear and hazmat whiskey.
It's the Molly. Where am I?
You're in hell, brother.
Wakey,
You're
wakey.
going nowhere.
Wakey, wakey. OBC and bakey.
The bakey is bacon.
It puts the peanut butter sauce on the skin to get the bacon again.
I'm starting to turn into Muscle Man from a regular show. You know who else likes peanut butter sauce? My mom.
My mom.
Great show.
Love it.
But the bar, though. The bar.
Tell me about the bar.
I think everything that they had to offer was Buffalo Trace, Taylor Single Barrel, Sazerac, Weller Full Proof, batched, like not a single barrel, the newest batch of Stag as well, formerly Stag Junior. And then a Bowman Brothers Port Cask finished bourbon as well. So I was of the mindset that there were two things on that bar that I had not tried yet that I really wanted to try.
Okay.
And the first one was the batched version of Weller Full Proof. Because everybody and their mother has said that the batched versions, the batched editions of Weller Full Proof far exceed the single barrel picks that we've seen.
Oh, that's what, yeah, everything I've heard says that.
And I gotta tell you, I was a little underwhelmed.
Really?
Even though it's 114 proof, it was kind of just flat. No real like punch or kick to it or anything. I understand, of course, it's a wheat bourbon. Shut up. I know. I get it.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, actually, Barry, let me tell you.
Actually, no, but it was just okay. It was just fine. But I needed to try it to see if like there was any truth to that portion of the hype, and there wasn't. I mean, shocker. But you know, it's so weird how, despite the fact that the Weller Full Proof picks are, of course, higher proof than the Antique 107 picks, I just think that overall I prefer the Antique 107 picks. I think there's something about that 107 proof that is magic. Yeah. And I think that people understand that flavor profile more than what Weller Full Proof even is supposed to be. Because, I mean, you essentially got thrown into the mix of it trying to figure out what you even wanted this flavor profile to be when you were doing a single barrel pick, because you don't have any familiarity with the batched version of it. And it just, you just wind up getting weird for weird's sake, or just not, nothing really to write home about.
I wish that we had enough 107 picks to compare, like do like a blind of like a couple of 107s and a couple. I mean, I've got a couple of full proofs, but I think I only have like one 107 pick left. Like I don't have any of either at this point, basically. It just, yeah. I mean, that just goes to show that I still was drinking them. I mean, it's not to say that like the full proof picks were bad, but it just, I know what I prefer. Yeah. And I know what I preferred. And I know which one of, I'd rather set my sights on at this point. Yeah.
But then,
oh my God, you're making me so hungry, and you're making me want to have cocktails and all this stuff. Oh
the other pour was the new Stag batch.
They had that there too?
Yeah.
Damn.
And only Stag that I had been able to try that would have been considered new over the past year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't get to try the Antique Collection. Haven't really been able to try any of the Stag Juniors over the past couple of years. Just completely slipped out of our grasp. Unfortunately, there was one time. I don't even know if Eden was born yet, or if she was at daycare or at my mom's or what. But I saw like somebody sent me or I saw like on Facebook or something. It was like, Beaumont Liquor Barn's got Stag Junior right now.
That's
Go
the same
get it.
one I got.
What do you mean?
Didn't we both get that? Did you get one that day?
Yeah,
I did too. You sent me the message.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the one we
I don't even remember who it was that told me.
You
first.
told me you got one, and then I went, and there were still some left, and I got one.
Yeah. I don't even know where that bottle is.
I don't know if I have any of it left.
I don't know if I do either. Actually,
I've got like 3 Stag Juniors, and they are like critical level right now.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, the single barrel from Swan and Total Wine I mean, that's really all the stag that I have left to write home about. What?
I've got this much left of my GTS.
Sorry.
About this much was bottle chugged by Perry.
Speaking of the night where we paired a bunch of steak and whiskey together.
It's my favorite thing. I love that.
Yeah. I'm so annoyed that we can't get Stag Junior.
We used to be able to get it
all the time. Stag Junior, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Spoiled. We were spoiled.
From about batch 9 all the way up to when, I want to say like 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was able to get, it was like automatic. It was like, all right, I go, and I had them all lined up, and like I'd drink on them like I was like, I know I'm going to get another one, so I'd be finishing them. And then all of a sudden, like around like 14 or something, it was like,
can't find them anywhere. And they're allocated, and they're in lotteries.
Yeah.
For Liquor Barn.
Yeah, Ernie's like, oh, we didn't really get hardly anything this time. And they would get a couple cases, and they'd be like, oh, I'd grab one, or I'd get one from Liquor Barn and all that now. Yeah. And I've yet to get one. It's been since probably about batch 13 or 14 that I've actually got one.
But it was wonderful. It was so good. She gave me a little Perry pour of it too, which was great. So yeah, that was kind of my adventure awesome. to Buffalo Trace, and and as we were leaving, there were gift bags sitting out for us, and lo and behold, there was a
that's awesome
single barrel Buffalo Trace pick that was just in these 375s.
Yeah.
But you know, I was kind of starting to get into this a little bit on the Patreon, or I guess it was on the pregame chats when we were just chatting. And like I know how inherently like greedy it feels to go to like a bourbon event and just want to walk away with some bourbon from the event.
Right.
But like I want that. I don't need any more glasses. I don't need any more leather coasters from Clayton and Croom. I don't need, gift cards to shops I'm never going to go to.
Give him some whiskey, people.
Give me some whiskey, man.
Give a little flask, a little 200 ml something.
Something. And this was like above and beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, truth be told.
That's awesome.
I didn't, and I don't have those expectations anymore. It's kind of light colored.
You got to add the blood.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, let me get the head. Squirted out the nose. But anyway, I haven't cracked it yet. I don't know when or if. No, I probably will.
Or
before
where.
Because this is something that like my dad would find really cool too. So we'll get into that eventually. Also, spoilers for, I keep also-ing this conversation. I'm sorry.
Also.
Spoilers for an episode sometime soon. Waiting for the other half, of course, to come in. But we do have Larceny B523
what's
in
the
our
proof
possession now. It is 124.4.
Nice.
So I haven't cracked it. I haven't sniffed it. I haven't tasted it.
Those are always my favorite episodes to do.
Yeah, those are wonderful, wonderful times. So B523 coming up soon. WMBP.
Girls, go on.
No. We now return you to your unfiltered cops marathon.
But wait,
Dong edition.
Do you want to have a party?
This is the meth special.
Oh Lord.
They would do that though on Cops, where they would run those specials of like
all the same kind of like
the craziest women that we've arrested.
Yep.
They're all runners.
And little Eric would sit up and watch them all.
We when we were still living in Richmond, we watched Cops a bunch because there was like
bad boys, what you gonna do?
We were still in that mode of like, staying up late because of college, and so our bedtime hadn't shifted to a more reasonable hour at that point. So we would just stay up and watch like 4 hours of Cops, and oof. Don't want to get too in the weeds here. But as soon as it went off the air, we were like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I understand. It's kind of problematic, isn't it? We shouldn't be finding that much entertainment from this. So
the stuff we used to watch. Late night.
Buddy.
Lord.
Buddy. I want us to kind of find our way through this conversation together.
Okay.
Right. And I'm trying to figure out exactly what part of this I'm kind of piqued my interest and made me go, oh, we should have a discussion about this. And maybe it's something that is kind of like an epilogue to our single barrel conversation from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm really not struggling with, but trying to find the middle ground for is, should we continue having something like this, not just for Buffalo Trace selections, but for other distilleries as well? Do you think it's a fair way of approaching it?
Well, they did one. That was what, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. Matt Porter won a barrel. Blue Run.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. They had a live stream draft, and it was selecting the people, the first people who got to pick a Blue Run barrel. Everybody loved it. They did a live stream of it. I didn't watch it, but I saw like some highlights of it, and Matt Porter won one.
That's crazy. How do I not know that?
I don't know. I didn't even. There's apparently everybody could sign up on it. I had no idea. But I thought that was fun. They made it an event. Like you saw Matt. I think the Bourbon Junkies were there and stuff.
Yeah.
And this, like, you guys, you were there. Chad and Sarah was there. I don't know. I think it's cool. I mean, why not? Like, if you're a big enough distillery that imagine if Four Roses did that. Like, that would be amazing. Wild Turkey, I think the bigger, even smaller ones could do it, but I feel like smaller distilleries already do a good job of giving people opportunities to have picks. New Riff, you get your group together, put the money in, you can go pick a barrel. There's no point in them having to do a drawing or whatever.
Or a quarter of a barrel there.
Or, whatever. Yeah. Wilderness Trail, they were doing it for a while. I don't know if they still are. They were doing their rye pick. You could, get a group together and go. But, I think those bigger companies, obviously Blue Run did it. They're not as big as them, but I think, they're becoming a bigger company. But I think that's fun. I think it would be awesome. Look at Wild Turkey. You could do a Kentucky Spirit. You could do a Russell's Reserve. Maybe they throw in something special, like you did like a Wild Turkey 101 pick or something like that to somebody.
Yeah.
But I don't see the harm in it, in giving people who aren't bars or, stores or restaurants a chance to pick a barrel.
I guess what it kind of could be seen as is people who are have been loyal to a brand for a long time don't get the chance that they did before.
That would be a negative. I could see a store who sells all the allocations they have to, and maybe they didn't get that pick.
But I don't think that this, I don't think that this was inherently the same thing as like a store, because surely Liquor Barn still is going to have all of their Buffalo Trace picks that they are normally allocated within a year taken care of.
The way I see it, I thought this was an opportunity for like a bourbon group or like somebody.
This is
their chance. So everybody gets their same allocated picks and stuff like that. But maybe pick 10 barrels from Wild Turkey, and here 10 people who enter who are Wild Turkey enthusiasts get a chance to pick a Wild Turkey barrel, or go down the line of Four Roses, like. There's 10 recipes or whatever, and 10 special people who are friends or who love Four Roses are going to get a chance and join us at the event. Watch us live. There'll be people you recognize on camera. Reach out to podcasts and YouTubers and influencers and have them there to promote it and everything. And then I think it's amazing. I think it's great. Any chance that the regular person, the normal, just bourbon enthusiast gets a chance to pick a barrel or have the opportunity, I think that's great. Like, it's not as easy, other than, just getting like New Riff, getting a couple people together, throwing your money, you're fine. It's still hard. You still have to get the money and you still have to do it up front and all that. But to me, barrel picking is like the top of the top, like, bourbon experience when you get a chance to do it. Because, at least for me, because how special a single barrel bottle of whiskey is.
Yeah.
In a sense, it's going to be one of the most rare things ever because it's a single barrel. While you drink it, I didn't even notice what you poured. Oh, did you open it?
I opened it.
When? Where?
If?
I don't know. I don't know.
Whom?
I was like, I didn't notice what you.
If it might get buried with me when I die. Who's to say?
5 minutes later, Barry
why not?
It. Yeah. How is it?
Weird, dude.
Weirdy boy.
It is. Boy, it is off profile for Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to try this, though.
Ooh, I can't wait.
It's bonkers.
Nice. Funky.
That LA is starting to hit me. I'm all of a sudden like way more awake than I was when we started recording.
But no, I think
I'm a spider monkey.
I'm a spider monkey. Get off my back. But giving people a chance who wouldn't normally get a barrel pick is always fun. And in making an event, you don't have to keep it just like to an online drawing and then that. Like, I think that's fun. The fact that, I haven't got a chance to talk to you much about it, so I didn't realize there was like food and drinks and all that.
Yeah. It was invite only.
Yeah. I know. I was going to be there.
I know you were. I'm just saying. I'm letting you know it wasn't like a public thing for people.
I knew it wasn't a public thing, but I didn't realize that there was that much stuff going on. Like you know. I knew it was an event and you were watching and doing all that, and I figured you'd get like a pour, but I didn't realize a bar and all that. I think that's amazing. And I think that's a good way to not only advertise with, people who make content, but it is a good way to show that, hey, even though we're this huge company who people give a shit all day long about not, being too hard to get or whatever. Hey, look, we gave just the regular old bourbon. We gave
everybody the chance.
We gave you a chance. We made an event and we put it out there. And look, there's even people here that want it that was in person.
Yeah.
But I think that would be fun if a lot of big brands do that.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that where it has become such a boys' club. So many people are just kind of like, well, barrel pick this, barrel pick that, and it becomes who's got the most money, who can flash the highest dollar sign. But which, I understand. I understand that aspect of it. You have to be able to pay to play in some of these instances. Mm-hmm. But that being said, the opportunity, because, and it wasn't like you had, if you won the barrel and you were there, you had to pay if it's a premium one, you had to pay
down payment,
the $12,000 that it takes to get this barrel. No, you can go through a store. You can work with, maybe somebody else wants to, sponsor it or whatever. And
you can work out with the store. You sell, you can keep so much and they sell the rest for you. It's got to go through
a store initially.
Right. Yeah.
Like for them to actually distribute it to you. And I don't know the logistics of that, considering, because I was always of the understanding that, the way the Buffalo Trace did that was the only way that distilleries could do it. But then you go to someplace like New Riff or Wilderness Trail, and they're like, we'll just load it up for you.
Well, I think that's like the whole down payment you've paid for it. So it's, it's just like if you went into their gift shop and bought up their gift shop, they can sell you that.
That's fair. Yeah.
But you definitely got to have a store behind you. But I think, if you are loyal to a store, I don't see any reason why I see, full disclosure, I see people all the time. I walk in and there'll be like a Woodford barrel with a bunch of Woodford boxes and stuff, and Ernie's, and he works with people around here that like they pick a barrel for like their Christmas present for their employees. And so they'll do that. He'll pay, it'll get sent to the store. The person buys it all, and then, he can give it as a gift. So like, maybe you give the store a few bottles to sell, give them a little business, you take the rest, or you've, allocated them off to your friends. Either way, the fact that just a normal person gets a chance to pick a Stag Junior or something like that is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Early hot take. If you pick a lot of barrels all the time and stuff, remember the people that maybe never picked one, and like either give them a chance or don't treat barrel picking just like it's like Perry said, like we just picked another barrel. It's okay. We had the best one. We got a better one 3 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Barrel picking is awesome. Like if we had the chance to have more people help pick this weekend's our live weekends pick, we would have. But it was a show. It was like a little exclusive thing, and we were just as surprised as everybody else that we got to do that.
Yeah, we were able to invite more people along for the New Riff pick that we did for last year, but. That's more of a production in terms of like you go in and you get shown around.
We had to pre-order everything.
Exactly.
We had to put the down payment. We put our own down payments on, and now we're actually getting to do it a way that like a store would. Like it's going to be bottled. We're going to give people a chance to get it, and then it's going to be sold at the gift shop and stuff too. So it was the perfect thing for us. But yeah, if you pick barrels and you got all their opportunities, don't be a little turd and be like, just another barrel, blah, blah, blah. Or like invite somebody else on. Somebody that's never been on one, invite them on.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's all that I really wanted to ask you about, because it just, it was kind of rumbling around in my head and I wasn't really sure how to approach it.
This may spark it. We may start seeing more stuff like this. I am too.
So Chad and I also, Chad, Sarah, and I were discussing with Amy, who is the, I guess now former PR person at Buffalo Trace, which distillery has the most available options for picks?
It has to be Buffalo Trace. Or 1792 only has a few.
You're missing a big one.
A big one? Offerings as in like different like labels to choose from?
Yeah.
Well, I know Heaven Hill does, but I still feel like no.
Because Heaven Hill really only does...
They only do ECBP.
They do ECBP, Larceny. Oh, and Larceny's gone now too, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't even think they...
So they do Elijah Craig, they do Rittenhouse. I'm assuming they might wind up doing Bernheim at some point, but even still, that's really just 3.
Right.
But I didn't know this. I didn't know this until last night, because Chad was talking about their Four Roses pick.
Oh, because you can have up to 10.
You have up to 10 at barrel strength that you can choose, but you can also proof any of them down to 100. Not just OBSV.
I thought OBSV was the only 100%.
I thought the same thing. I thought the exact same thing.
Does anybody really do that, though?
I don't know. Maybe they do. But Chad said when they picked their Four Roses barrel, they specifically got asked, and it was not an OBSV. I don't even remember what recipe it was. They got asked, do you want to proof this down to 100? So that, and they said no, of course. But that brings their total up to 20 individual offerings that you can essentially pick from.
Yeah, that got me because I was thinking of different brand labels. Like I didn't think of just Four Roses having the different recipes and stuff.
Yeah.
God, I would love to pick a Four Roses. That is
two mash bills, 5 yeast strains, 10 recipes, and then you're also proofing it down from cast strength to 100. I mean,
I want to pick a Four Roses. So
it was one of my favorite picks. Just in terms of like the quality of everything that we got to try.
Yeah.
Because I went with OBC. Oh man, this must have been 2018, 2019.
I was going to say,
it's been a long time.
You do one, but like no, the last OBC Four Roses I got, I think was 2020.
Your year,
my year of bourbon.
Yeah, no, and I think, I think it was 2018 because I was just kind of starting to understand who Al Young was.
Yeah.
That was the year that the Al Young bottle came out.
I love that bottle
too. And it's one of my favorite Four Roses products of all time. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever said this on the podcast. I'm not going to name him because I don't want people to bug him about this, but we have a mutual friend who I was over at his house one time. I think it was in like 2019. I was talking about how I had never had Four Roses. You probably do.
Yeah.
I had never had the Four Roses Al Young bottle. And he had a bottle with like 4 or 5 ounces left, and he was like, "Just take it."
Lord,
I was like, "Okay, fine." That's
do you have to Eskimo kiss him?
He didn't make me at that time.
Okay,
but
all right.
Yeah, that's just the kind of guy he is.
Yeah,
though.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
let's drink.
we got a review, man.
And I gotta say thank you to Perry for
of course, dude,
grabbing this. I was at work and he got me one, and I said, "What I owe you?" And he said nothing. And he said, "You know what we do for each other when we get each other bottles." And I said, "Well, it isn't Tuesday, so just remind me." So next Tuesday I'll repay Perry.
Well, no, just everybody get your mind out of the gutter. But when the 8-year Bottled and Bond bourbon came out, Eric bought mine for me.
Yeah.
And so this was, things have been things recently. Yeah. So, anything I can do to help you out, man.
So yes, we have. Get this to focus here.
It's the 7-year Bottled and Bond Rye Whiskey from Wilderness Trail.
Oh
all right. I'm very excited about this. I got to try it at the distillery when Chad and I went to go pick it up today. America.
Danville. That came off really. I was putting all my strength into it because I thought it was going to pop, and I almost like hulked it out. Like when you go back and edit the video, you're going to see me almost spill this all over me.
So when I
In my whiskey mort glass.
I've never talked about. I'm doing mine in my Woodford Reserve glass.
In my Wilderness Woodford.
Wilderness Trace. Back when they got sued and they had to change that name.
What if they did collab picks? We're gonna do the first.
Dude, but we've talked about this forever, for years, that distilleries need to do that.
Yep.
Buffalo Trace should go to Heaven Hill, pick an Elijah Craig barrel proof, and sell it in their gift shop, and vice versa.
That'd be amazing.
They should do that. It would be so much fun. Yeah. It would be so collaborative, and it would just show people that this business is not about competition. It's about working with each other and doing cool things.
Yeah.
And the Bardstown collection that I get, this is now the second year that they've done it. It's 6 different distilleries providing picks, providing single barrels. They're expensive, but under one kind of label, they're all within, this thing. I just don't understand. I think it's something that should be explored more.
It would be cool
by other people, but this is something that, again, we've been waiting quite a while for. I don't know if we are as fortunate this time around to be the first ones to review this whiskey, much like we were with the 8-year Bottled and Bond back in August of last year. I want to say this too. This is within the topic of the 8-year Bottled and Bond. I wasn't able to make it work because the quality of the video was not as good. But on that review video, I wanted to take our doorbell camera footage, because we got to my house at the same time to record that day.
Yeah.
Because I had to go drop Eden off or something. And you pulled my bottle out of the 8-year and you said happy early birthday. And I wanted to include that in the video initially. Yeah. I don't even really know why I'm telling anybody this. It's just sometimes your creative things just don't work out. That's how it goes. But regardless, I think that, between the two of us, Wilderness Trail is very special.
It is.
And it's nice to be on the forefront of reviewing this. So,
man, okay,
7 years old, 100 proof. Don't really know what the mash bill is. Percentage wise, it is rye, corn, and malted barley. But they had some bottles sitting out that were signed by Dr. Pat.
And there it is.
There it is, man. It was awesome. It was just a nice little experience. We were able to walk right in and grab them and pay and then get out. Well, I'd say that their Wi-Fi was kind of spotty.
We had to walk in, get the bottle, wait a second,
wait 5 more seconds, wait 2 minutes, swipe my card again because it didn't work the first time. And then finally you can put them in a box and you can leave. So I didn't get to see anybody while I was there. I saw Cooper though. Cooper
That's
the cat.
All that matters. Yeah. You go to Wilderness Trail, you better be petting Cooper.
I think he's my favorite distillery cat.
He is mine. That I do like Rowan from at Willett.
I don't know if I've met Wowen.
Wowen.
I don't know if I've met Rowan.
As long as this website is correct, 56% rye, 33% corn, 11% malted barley.
Interesting.
Is what this says. So
it's a pretty high malted barley content.
This comes from the Whiskey Jug.
They've been pretty reliable, I think.
It was the first one that popped up when I said Wilderness Trail rye mash bill.
There you go.
This color, though.
It's so deep. It's like copper.
Looks so good. Yeah.
Like burnt copper.
That nose.
Dude, doesn't this smell like the pick that we had yesterday with Swan? The pick that you now have? That New Orleans Bourbon Festival rye?
Yeah, it's sitting over there.
I mean, they smell like it smells like the same DNA.
Wilderness Trail ryes are just special, man. It's a peppermint Christmas tree cake. It's like peppermint, but like there's this vanilla cake in there. It's like this really subtle, like Christmassy Christmas cake with peppermint. Man, I could sit and this is like
it smells great, man.
This is a candle whiskey.
I tried this morning. We got there at like 10 o'clock. And, you know, Chad and I were asking about the bottles and everything. And the lady behind the counter was like, well, you want to try some? I'm like, yeah, why not? That's a good hack for anybody listening. If you go to a distillery and you wander around for so long and you're like, I don't know, somebody will probably offer you a pour or something. It is true. Bourbon hack.
Bourbon hack.
Get it. Okay.
All right.
Freddie's toast last night.
Oh boy, is this going to get me?
Oh. There are short ships and tall ships, but they all sink. The best ship is friendship.
Oh.
And to that, we drink.
Oh, I love that. Clink.
Cheers, homie.
Cheers, homie. Why does this taste like it's like 12 years old? Oh my God, the finish. The finish. Oh.
Once the finish hits and it starts to go, it starts on the finish with butterscotch, but then it goes into root beer. Like full on A&W root beer.
Root beer float. Oh my God. Root beer, vanilla ice cream.
But it does start with so much rye spice. And for it to only be 56% rye baffles me. I'm baffled, I tell you. Truly do.
Oh my God. That's truly such a different rye than oh my.
But there's something so inherently like, this is rye whiskey about it. You know, it feels very true to what rye whiskey is. In its depth, its complexity, its bite, its spice. But it's so fresh. It's so new. It's such a new, fresh, different approach to a rye whiskey of 7 years old. I love this, man.
It's so crazy. It is. It's like, yes, this is rye whiskey, but then like it almost like, and this is weird because when I drink this, I see a rhubarb plant. I see like this green and purple, but it's not like grapey purple. It's like that maroon type of red purple. And it's like it starts playing with you a little bit, and it's like, here comes the rye spice, but then it turns into that root beer.
Yeah.
That vanilla, and it's like it creeps up on you, and you're like, there it is, and you're like, nope, it turns into something else. It is a little roller coaster of a rye.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's really, really good. Put this up against Antique Collection Rye. I dare you. I triple dog dare you.
I mean,
and it will hold up.
I mean, I think this is one of the few times that I say, I don't know. I mean, obviously I will eventually, but I don't know if I want to know what this tastes like any higher proof.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like I
do, but like I don't want this in this moment right now. I don't need it. I don't think anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I maybe I am being tainted by the memory of the 8-year bottle of Bond bourbon, which was so visceral, and so we had so much like excitement when we were drinking that for the first time. I think I like that whiskey better.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think by so much that this is going to look like a significant drop off for Wilderness Trail. This is just a horse of a different color.
I was going to say it's a different mindset. Like when I'm going into this,
it absolutely is.
It's a different episode. You love your, this episode of that or that, and then you come back and I like this episode and I like this episode. It's just different.
It's this season of The Mandalorian.
Oh my God, isn't it right?
Which I maintain has been really good. I have really enjoyed it. I know that it has its critics. I understand.
The only thing that I criticize,
I like it a lot.
The only thing I criticized, and I told you this, was just that other half of the one episode.
Episode 3.
There was just picky things about it. But other than that, oh my God, the episode 5. This is just a relaxing pour, and I find myself enjoying those, and I find myself looking for those pours more than anything these days.
Yeah.
People probably say, he's going to say it's a relaxing pour. Well, it is. I'm sorry.
Well, shut up. This is my bourbon podcast.
Oh my God, the finish, dude.
That finish is spectacular. No joke, it lasts for a solid 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, the only reason I'm drinking more is just because I just wanted more.
I want the finish.
I could sit there with that finish for a while. It's rhubarb and root beer, and it tricks you, man. It plays with your mind. You take it that first little bit, and you think it's going to hit you like a rye, and then it takes that turn for like that sweetness.
It's good, dude. It's really good.
It's so, dare I say, smooth. Like it does. But smooth in a way that not like it ain't got no proof. I can just drink this. It's smooth. Smooth like it just rolls over like your tongue and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's like got a smooth texture.
Yeah.
Man. Once again, thank you so much for this.
Of course, dude. Of course.
And thank you, Wilderness Trail, for just continuing to put out great products.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a bourbon friend.
All right.
Don't call me out.
Nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. You may as well.
May as well.
This, by the way, this was $75 a bottle.
There we go. Wilderness Trail never price gouges either.
No.
And I'm not saying anybody else does. I'm just saying they do not disappoint when it comes to the prices. So.
No. What'd you give the nose?
4.
We are in the same boat.
I think
it's incredibly inviting.
It invites it. That's the perfect way to put it. Honestly, like I totally agree. It's inviting because, and it kind of goes with the rest. It kind of like brings you in, and then it almost keeps going up from there, or it kind of goes up and then a loop-de-loop type thing for me.
Yeah.
But it's way inviting. Like it smells like a Christmas tree cake with peppermint. Like it's just this vanilla cake and a little bit of peppermint spice.
The more I've gone back to the nose, the more I've kind of realized that the thing that I think might be the most like inviting part of it is that it doesn't show its hand immediately. It doesn't give you a full understanding of what's going on with this. Not that you can really understand what the finish is going to be like just by smelling it. But it's tricky.
Yeah.
That being said, the palate is my least favorite part here.
Dude, I was going to give the palate a 3.
I'm going to give it a 3.5.
3.5.
I was jumping back and forth between a 3 and a 3.5, but I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt.
The palate is great, But I think the thing it does, like I said, it makes you think it's going to get you with that rye spice, and it kind of pulls back a little bit. So it's like, yeah, it's good. And then it's like, hold up, because we got something else. Hold up, because we got something else coming. So 3, it's a solid like front palate, but that back palate to the finish is kind of, to me, where this thing shines.
Yeah. I mean, I think that just as far as the palate goes for me, I want a little bit more of a punch from it. Mm-hmm. I want it to showcase what the finish does. Yeah. I want it to be this big, bold, in your face sipper. And I mean, I understand why it isn't. And I do actually kind of like the balance between the two. I know I'm being kind of antithetical here with my statements.
Exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But just the experience of it. Like if we had an experience category, it's a 5.
Oh yeah.
You know, like yeah. I can't fault it for having something that I personally, I mean, I guess I can literally fault it because we are doing a review of it. But you know, overall, I just can't say something to the effect of like, well, it ruined the experience for me, because it didn't. No, I think it's all part of the, you know, what you are personally going to find on the journey with it, mm-hmm. And the experience of drinking this is so unlike anything else that we've gotten to taste from Wilderness Trail or otherwise.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the finish. 1, 2, 3.
Dude, this finish is one of the best finishes. I had my score was an immediate 5.
Like, yeah. Oh, same here. I knew it without a shadow of a doubt that it was going to be a 5.
When it starts rolling off the back of your tongue and down into your chest, dude, it was something. It was that root beer float, that little bit of rhubarb in there. And that's kind of, it's fun in a way that the palate is a 3, only because it's like a roller coaster. It's like the nose gets you up, and then the palate kind of goes down a little bit, and then you get up to this big freaking like drop on the finish, and it's like just takes you for this ride at the end.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it was an instant. Oh. There's something special about this finish, man.
I mean, if I could give it like an 8 out of 5, I would.
11 out of 10, baby.
But genuinely, I mean, that's how much I love this finish. It's just, it's unique. It's fun. It's different. Mm-hmm. It's opening up my sinuses too.
Dude, it's crazy. The palate just, it brings you right to the tip of like this spicy rye, and then it pulls back, and then the finish just opens up, and it's a 5 on the finish. I mean,
so like I said, the price is $75. This again, if we're going by the pricing structure of 10, I always do that. $10 per year.
Right.
This doesn't go so far out of the realm of like, I don't understand why they priced it that way. To me, that $5 extra is more of an investment in what they are doing with the company, and it's something, you know, they have proven themselves to be a wonderful whiskey making company.
Of course, always.
And you know, personally, if like, you know, it's a $5 donation or whatever, I don't have any problem with it. But you know, they also got to pay themselves. So as far as like the price goes here, it's a 5. That's a 5.
It's a 5. It's a 5 all day. I went back and forth.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah, it's got to be. Listen, I did, in my head, I went back and forth because I thought maybe $75 grants a barrel proof point. But also I said, wait, this is a small batch. It's not just straight out of a barrel and put in a bottle. This takes a little bit more work. It takes a couple of, it takes more tasting and stuff to say, hey, this is good to go, instead of just slapping barrel proof on there and being like, here you are, you're going to love it.
Well, I mean, it is bottled in Bond, so they kind of had to do what they.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm saying,
but
as far as like a 75 price point.
Yeah.
It's getting up there. It's getting close to that new, that 100, the new what we're used to. So sometimes people want to see a higher proof or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, but I have no problem. I mean, this thing tastes like it could be $100. It tastes like it could be 100. Like you said, this would beat Sazerac 18 BTAC out of the water. Every one I've had that I've got to have with you. And I mean, this is right up there with like those early Kentucky Owl products and stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. This kind of does for me what like batch 1 and batch 2 of Kentucky Owl Rye did. And you know what? It's cheaper.
Way cheaper.
It's cheaper than you would have gotten those for.
Yeah, so. That's what I'm saying. Like it can't be anything other than a $5 for the $75.
Yeah.
Like it can't be. Like this tastes triple the amount.
Yeah. So my final score was a 17.5 out of 20. And I think you gave it a 17 out of 20.
I did a 17. Go get it.
Go get it.
It's coming out in stores. It's not going to just be at the distillery.
Yeah, I don't know how wide the distribution is going to be, but at the very least, I mean, they had a lot. They had a lot that was still in the gift shop. I know that this is coming out a week and a half after we record it. I'm sorry, but Wilderness Trail's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Go out there, check it out. Have some drinks.
This color alone, oh my God.
It's so cool. Hold on. It's barrel-aged honey.
Look at the color of this. This is Kentucky Owl Batch 1. And look at the color of this.
Oh, they're so similar.
And I know the camera and the lights and stuff, but like, no joke. Like,
almost identical.
Almost identical. They're 10 proof points off. One's 11 years, one's 7 years. And, yeah.
I'm really glad that that review turned out to be as favorable as it did.
So good.
Because we love Wilderness Trail. We want to, we're not pandering, I promise.
But like, we've talked to them. We've been around them enough to know that they want honest reviews. They want us to say what, and we're going to say it. Like, I have a whole shelf full of picks over there, and I can pull out several of them that are subpar, and they're still good, but I would tell you the flaws in them.
Yeah.
Whether that's who picked them or what. I've got not a whole, but I've got a half of a 375 bottle back here of Funky Nerds that half the people in the room said, please get that away from me. This is horrible, even though I loved it. So,
and you were able to take some home with you.
And I was.
I wonder whatever happened to that barrel.
I hope somebody got it.
I hope so too.
I hope
that it didn't get relegated to like a small batch.
I know. I want that to be out there somewhere. I hope some like the one like death metal emo / bourbon group that exists in the world got it. And they were like, this is weird and cool and crazy. We're going to put it in a bottle.
Mom's going to be mad that I'm listening to this music again and drinking this whiskey.
My dad's going to taste this and he's going to hate me because it's so weird. I hope that's where it went. Is there any way to find that out?
Yeah, other than just asking Macaulay, I don't know. Truly. Because I don't even know what the barrel number on that one was. No. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I wonder if there's like a list of like, hey, this group picked this barrel at this. These were all the others.
There probably is. Because, I mean, you know, they've got to keep track of everything for when it actually makes it out the door. But, yeah. I don't really have any high proof hot dates. High proof hot dates.
You and Lucy got some hot dates lined up, I heard.
We do? If I don't know about
figured.
It. Oh, that reminds me of something I'll ask you about off air.
What a segue.
I don't want people knowing our business on it. It's nothing weird. It was just we were talking about doing a joint trip with you and April.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I already said my high proof hot take. It was don't be a single barrel picker snob.
Yeah. That thing.
Yeah.
Tips and bits, though.
Tips and bits.
We're going to recommend some things that you should check out, watch, read, listen to, put in your brain hole.
Hole?
Which I guess, is that your mouth or your ears?
Your spinal cord.
Yeah, put it right. Get a spinal tap and
put it right in your spinal fluid, baby.
Get an IV and send it directly into your system.
Yeah, that needle goes way into your like bones.
Yeah.
Put this tips and bits in your bones. Go, Perry.
I don't want to.
Actually, you go.
Actually, I had to pull mine up because
you had to pull it out.
I said up.
Oh. Actually, Eric.
Well, if you want me to go ahead
up.
If you want me to go ahead and go, I can.
No, I got mine.
Okay.
I got one.
I just pulled mine up. I had to. We've gone through a bunch of stuff recently.
I know.
So
I'm on a Star Wars kick. Obviously, with Mando going on, we've talked about how much we've loved this season. Episode 5 is amazing.
Bad Batch just finished up too.
That's my recommendation.
Oh, sorry.
No, the Bad Batch. I've mentioned it several times, but yes, this season ended, and I just love this show so much. There are a couple of different stories going on in this season, but it all revolves around like the time when Order 66 is over and the clones are still there, but now the stormtroopers are starting to come in. The stormtroopers aren't necessarily clones. And you see, and it parallels like war veterans and stuff. And I'm not going to get political and do all that, but like you see these clones who have done everything for the Empire, and all of a sudden they're just like thrown away. And it shows that. And it shows people coming in. And now they're using them for these missions. There's one episode called Outpost on it. I think it's episode 12. I think this season had 15, 16 episodes. Outpost is amazing. It shows one of the characters that you hate having to do this mission and save this other clone and stuff. And my God, if I didn't tear up at the end of that. But if you've ever just wondered, like, hey, what happened to the clone troopers now that the stormtroopers have took over? Well, this is the story. And there's little bits and pieces of other Star Wars shows and movies dropped in there that you're like, oh my God, there they are. So yeah, like Bad Batch, this second season just ended, and I can't recommend the show anymore. The animation's cool. Soundtrack's cool. The stories are great. I mean, there's not one boring episode. You'll get an episode about the main story, then you'll get a couple of like side stories and like fun episodes, then it come back to the main story. And the last half of this second season is just phenomenal. So many good things. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the Outpost, I think it's called, was probably one of my favorite episodes. And I'm telling you, it's not just a kid's cartoon. Like it hits serious. Like it's very familiar with things that we've read about over history of our own history and current times and stuff. And it's just amazing. I couldn't recommend it enough.
I started the first season when it initially came out. That was in 2020, right?
Yeah, it was about 2 years.
Or was it
2 or 3
2019?
years ago?
Yeah. I watched the first couple of episodes and never followed through with it. But, you know, it was also during that period where I was like, I just want, I want a Star Wars again. Like, I want Jedi.
I get that.
I want to see the things that made Star Wars what it is come back. And so I was kind of getting burnt out on faceless warriors and troopers and just not having anything to like kind of connect with emotionally.
I think you got now with Boba and Mando and stuff. I think you've got enough of that now to where it's like, oh, I like a little bit of this side story.
Yeah,
now,
and I do very much so. But I'm still kind of craving a little bit of that balance to come back. But with something like Obi-Wan Kenobi, that show satisfied a lot of those needs that I was feeling. I'm
thinking about that last fight right now.
Come to find out, a lot of people hate that show.
Why?
There's something, I don't remember exactly what they've said, but it's something like it wasn't, it just like wasn't as satisfying, or it wasn't as good of a story, or like
Did they think it was going to be like a big like 3-hour movie epic like thing? Like this was
which is what they got.
I mean, you take all this and put it together, and it's that last
it's more
fight,
than that.
The mid fight when Vader wins, basically. Oh my,
it's intense, man.
Freaking lights the ground on fire.
Yeah. And just the emotional payoff of it all, too. I don't know.
People are stupid.
People are dumb. Yeah, so I do need to take the time to go back and watch The Bad Batch again. But I just... I was so burnt out on, you know, them trying to make us care about some of these characters.
Yeah.
That we largely are not familiar with. I know that they were in the Clone Wars show. But just so far as like, yeah, but where's Luke Skywalker?
Where the lightsaber at? No, like now's the perfect time if you kind of feel like Hal Perry did. Like now's the perfect time. So.
Yeah. Going back to original Star Wars.
Ooh.
And an actor who was in original Star Wars.
Also, the poster you got me, it may be off the mantle, but it's still in the living room.
It's still upstairs. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. But Harrison Ford's new show on Apple TV with Jason Segel, it's called Shrinking. Incredible.
Really?
The first season just wrapped up a couple weeks ago as of this episode coming out. It centers around this office of therapists, of not psychologists, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And just kind of the struggles that they're going through in their regular lives. It's not like, you know, a bunch of wacky characters coming in and you having their interviews and it's like, man, I can't stop trying to eat my rubber chicken. It just won't heat. I can't fry it the right way.
Like, you know, what's this episode going to be about?
Exactly.
Today?
Exactly. It's a very, it's got a lot of heart to it. Harrison Ford is Harrison Fording about all over the place in this show.
I love that.
Just grumpy.
Harrison Fording about it.
I said that about Ryan Reynolds earlier today too. I said Ryan Reynolds just kind of Ryan Reynolds his way
doing his
through.
Ryan Reynolds thing.
Yeah, he's just Ryan Reynoldsing all over the place through most
making
movies now.
Billions of dollars off of phone companies and stuff. He's freaking figured it out.
But he's just this grumpy old man. He's been jaded by the world and life, and Harrison Ford's no spring chicken. He's almost 80 now, I think,
insane,
or 79 or something like that. I mean, it shows.
That's what happens when you shoot first, baby.
Yeah, Han shot first. He doesn't have the energy of an Indiana Jones or a Han Solo anymore. He's not supposed to. He's 80 years old. Give the guy a break. But what he does with this role is so I have a personal connection to this story that he gets to portray, that I'm worried as a spoiler for the show itself, and so I won't do that here. But just know that what he is going through in the show, growing up, I had to see one of my grandparents go through the same thing. Gotcha. And it was brutal. But largely, I predicted incorrectly, but that we were going to have a little bit of a tragic scene at the end of the first season, where things were going to take a turn. Didn't happen, thankfully. Harrison Ford lives to fight another day. Patient, basically. But it's great, man. I love Jason Segel. He's such a warm, fuzzy ball of energy. I of course loved him in How I Met Your Mother. There's something about him, the Muppet movie that he did too.
Oh, he's so good in that.
I just latch onto so hard. Just a sweetheart of a person, but anyway, really, really good show. I highly recommend it. Got a couple other things that I'm going to recommend as well. The current run of World's Finest comic book, the title currently, just Batman and Superman stories. Yeah. So good. It's so good.
You're not watching, you just did the chef's kiss.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say chef's kiss.
There you go.
I apologize, Joseph Prezo.
He don't know how to work YouTube anyway. We gotta tell him.
It's really good. The artist is Dan Mora, who's been with DC for a long time, but just very crisp pencil. Oh man, crisp pencil work. I'm getting choked up talking about some comic book art.
Pencils in my throat.
Wood shavings, am I right?
Been chewing on a pencil all day. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of erasers in my mouth.
Is this Harrison Ford? Harrison, what are you doing? How'd you get on this phone call?
I did shoot first. Bitch.
My favorite thing about Harrison Ford as he's gotten older is like anytime he gets asked about things like Star Wars and India,
don't ask me that.
He's like, I don't care. I literally have not thought about this in the 40 years that I've been playing this character. Stop talking to me about it. World's Finest is just so it's fun. It's not like got a whole lot of weight on anything else that's happening within DC Comics right now. It goes back to when Dick Grayson was still Robin. So earlier days of Batman and Robin. Dick Grayson is my favorite Robin.
Before he got that
anyway,
Nightwing butt.
Before he got all caked up.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Thick with 2 C's.
Yeah.
And cake with 3.
Oh boy.
Cake.
I like
because you stutter when you see the tuchus. Make you go all stumbly and mumbly on your words.
Baby got back. Dick Grayson with a Nightwing booty.
And then I'll recommend a stand-up special. I don't think I've recommended this yet, but we watched it a few weeks ago. It's Nate Bargatze, his new stand-up special. It's called Hello World.
Okay.
I think it's on Amazon. I don't know if you've ever watched any of his stuff. He's
Doesn't ring a bell.
He's a clean comedian.
Comedian.
Like he doesn't swear or anything. So you can kind of watch it with your kids if you want to show them some.
Oh, that might be a good change of pace from what I'm usually watching and listening to.
Yeah.
I probably need that.
But I mean, like, he's not preachy or anything. He's not trying to push an agenda.
He just does wholehearted comedy. Sounds
yeah,
like.
exactly. And excuse me, and like he falls within a certain demographic, and he has been kind of accepted within that demographic as well, but not so much so that you can only enjoy the comedy that he does if you agree with him on so many things.
I got you.
You know, he's very accessible. He has one joke in one of his earlier stand-up specials about a horse that the first time that I heard it, I was crying laughing. It was one of the funniest things I had ever heard. I just recommend his entire body of work. He's very dry as well. I mean, just a very dry delivery with all of his comedy. But anyway, that's all I got this week. Eric, why don't you take us home?
Well, man, I love dry comedy, but I just don't like being dry. And you know how I get wet. Is going to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show. And that $5.
Now my video's all messed up.
I love that though, because it got me good. You popped me. And that $5, you get all the bonus content. You get this episode uncut, which, and then you get bonus episodes. We do Pours from the Floor, where I go through bottles that are sitting on my floor because I don't have enough shelf space. And very scary. I just broke the.
Sorry. I've been having camera troubles all night as well.
But then we do Sample Irresistible as well, where we clean out samples that Perry's got sent that he's backed up on. And then
so many more.
Oh yeah,
I got so many more. I'm so embarrassed.
And then we do pregame chats where we just talk about something. We may do a little questionnaire. We may just do a wellness check on each other. We may just talk. But you get all that. You get the episode uncut. And you get the first access to any barrel picks we do, any kind of shows we do, anything. Patreon is where it's at, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. If you want to send us a barrel ring where you can be on the show, you leave a voicemail, we play it. Currently, Bill Robarge.
He's the reigning champion.
Wisconsin beer lover. But you want to beat him, dethrone him, send us a voicemail at 859-428.
8253 859-428-8253.
You can do that.
How'd you know?
I knew. If you want to get some merch, Perry's got some designs online for the show. Bourbonshop.threadless.com. We'll probably be putting some new stuff up there for the weekend, so be watching out for that. If you want to send us an email that, just want to ask us a question, ask us to review something, pair something, this is mybourbonshop@gmail.com. You can leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You can leave a rating and now comments on Spotify. Anything will help us. We'll read those out. If you want to go to YouTube.
Thank you for remembering to bring that up. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Let's check Spotify.
Check it. While he's checking that, you can follow us on YouTube.
Check.
You're listening to this,
check it out.
You can watch the show on YouTube. You'll see us do funny faces and stuff. YouTube.com. This is My Bourbon Podcast. Perry goes live every Thursday night at 8. I try to join him when I can. But yeah, you get a lot of videos on there. You can just I mean, leave a review, rate, tell people about us. Just spread the word. If you want to go to social media, at My Bourbon Pod on all social media. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. I'm doing pairings, doing all this stuff at Whiskey Mutant on Instagram and TikTok. You can follow Perry at PRitter1792. And that's it. We got anything?
No, we got nothing.
We got nothing. So leave us something.
Hey, connect with the show, people. You're listening.
Connect.
To it, right?
Get a shout out.
We'll give you a shout out.
We'll give you a shout
big
out.
one.
Who knows what else will happen? You know, you may run into me at a meat market. Sure.
I rarely know what's going to happen with this show, honestly.
But isn't that the fun? What the fun
that's
of
the
this
fun.
is?
That's the fun of it, man.
Yeah.
So,
you don't know what's going to happen when you get this.
I got no idea. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
I think so.
Anything anything you want to say right now, Perry? Just get it off your chest. Just say it. You're thinking about something, I can tell.
I mean, I'm a little anxious. I don't really want to talk about it on stream, but
no, you don't have to talk about that.
Or on the episode.
Anything else?
I mean, there's still a big hole in my parents' house.
That's been an episode.
What do you mean?
Keep listening.
What? I thought you wanted me to say something profound at the end. I had nothing.
A hole in your house? Your mom's house?
My mom and dad's house. You knew that. The tree that fell through?
I know, but I thought it was going to be something like, I got some words of wisdom for you.
I think I got it.
You got it? All right.
Thank you all for listening.
There's a hole in my parents' house. Keep me burning. There's a tree in my old room. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that tree branch is still there. They couldn't get it out.
I think they should just build around it.
I would love to see it. It's a permanent installation in that bedroom.
They start putting like your old like school pictures on it and stuff. It's like a shelf.
They move out and the new owners are like,
what is this?
Is that a tree branch? And
they're
like, you can look at all the other bedrooms. You just can't go up to the one on the second floor.
Somewhere in the contract, they're like, you're not allowed to remove the tree branch in there, or you have to pay us like $1 bajillion or something.
Thank you all so much for listening or watching. As always, it means the world to us. I don't know how much I say that often, but I truly do appreciate you guys. This is easily one of the best parts of my week, getting to hang out with.
Definitely best of mine.
I love you.
Love you.
It's just nice. It's just a nice time with nice boys.
Good boys. Good Christian boys.
Good. We'll see y'all next week. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.